going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video out here in Metro Manila. And today I'm gonna do a retour again in Ortigas. Been here before, but the neighborhood keeps developing. So I wanna do an update video, walk around, check out some of the malls. And then I wanna make it towards Greenfield District, where there's also another cool area here that's developing pretty fast. But ahead of me, you see like the sea of skyscrapers happening. Like over here, you see all the buildings that's being pop up over here, you know. So ahead of me, you can see this one's new. A couple of these buildings are brand new too. And Mega Mall is towards my right side. I'm gonna walk towards over here. Over that way should be Robinson's. And then I'll walk into some of the regular streets and show you what this neighborhood has to offer. So without further ado, join me. So it seems like over here they're building another condo too. They have two MRT stations around here, the Ortigas and the Shaw Boulevard. And I think also the new subway station that is being built is gonna have a stop right here in Ortigas, because it's a very important business district. You know, like a lot of people that go to Makati and BGC, but this over here is a really good business district out here in Metro Park, Manila. Over here you see what's going on. It's a nice looking building over here. I like how they seal it up with glass. Just gotta watch where I cross, you know. I'm gonna focus on the pedestrian area, probably over here. Yeah, I mean, you can see like, literally like the sea of skyscrapers that's being built up. And then Mega Mall is literally over there behind me, what's going on. And if I walk a little bit over here in front of me, it's where they got Robinson's, then Podium should be behind me. So I tell you, it's like a lot of blocks for you to walk. That's pretty worth to look at. They even have like an overpass that connects you to another side of the district. And also the sidewalks are pretty wide, you know, pretty nice and clean. See the buildings that they got going on. But I think this area is mostly like people who come and work in buildings. Comparing to like BGC, you know, a lot of people, they have recreational activities. Also, Makati is literally like pretty immense. And it keeps going over this way. And they got the overpasses right here. That's really cool. Towards my left is the Holiday Inn. They got a couple of Holiday Inn brands in Manila. But comparing to other countries that I visited, like Asia, like Thailand, and I forgot where else I stayed, the Holiday Inn here in the Philippines is actually a little bit more expensive than the neighboring countries. But it's all good because we got tons of hotels around here and also like Airbnbs that have a pretty decent price for you to stay. Here I am crossing the overpassage. I'm gonna walk towards, I'll make it towards the other way, towards Podium. This is the overpassage. You can see some of the streets over here. Reminds me a little bit of some of the streets in Makati. But now I'm gonna walk towards the other side to show you the front of the Podium, which is like a high-end mall. Then I'm gonna go inside to get some AC because it's like 102 degrees out here and it's pretty humid. So I'm gonna shelter up, you know, in the AC for a little bit and then continue my exploration outdoors around here. So Ortigas offers pretty much what a central business district offers, but I think it's much more chiller than Makati and BGC. You know, people just come and work around here. And then it's divided between two cities, which is actually Mandaluyong, but Mandaluyong is mostly where Mega Mall is. And then Pasig. I think also like a little portion, like Robinson's, I think it borders Quezon City. So actually it's kind of like literally three cities that the central business district covers. Here they're building this building. You see when they build, they set up this, you know, the scaffolding and popping up high-rise condos over here. So it's like literally all over Metro Manila, they keep popping up skyscrapers after skyscrapers. So it's booming, you know, actually like pretty fast though. So now let me just continue walking ahead. Also, a lot of foreigners, they don't really venture around this one. And it's pretty accessible with the MRT line. You know, the MRT runs pretty fast, but yeah, I don't know if you can see me. High-rise building over here. This actually is kind of reminding me of Long Island City in Queens, New York. The same style, like building up, you know, a lot of high-rise condos. But yeah, then ahead of me where the skyscrapers are is where it should be the high-end mall Podium. They got a couple of malls around here. And a lot of business district connect over here. They got Capitol Commons, which is by Pasig. I tried to film around there, but the security told me not to film. I don't know if it's like a private area. And then of course they got the Greenfield District that's surrounded by Ortigas. So a lot of things connect with this district out here. So you see that building in the first level, I think it's like 5 stories or 6 stories, is Podium. And they even got their own twin tower version out here in Metro Manila. And then you see a lot of skyscrapers. We're gonna go more into the downtown later. I'm just showing you this area. There's so much to see. And even over here, they got traffic jams. So you can see how the residential area goes towards the end. Man, as you cross the street, I'm seeing that a cloud is setting up. Even though I checked the weather, it says it's not gonna rain, but here the weather is like unpredictable. It could be pretty nice and humid like this. And then all of a sudden, literally like the rain starts pouring down, pretty crazy. You can see how the skyscrapers keeps going. This is where they got Podium. I want to show you the outside. They even have a Christmas tree over there ahead of me. I like how beautiful the sidewalk is, pretty white. But like I said, there are many, many business districts throughout Metro Manila. So it'll take you forever to explore. And look at the beautiful buildings out here. So there's more action towards that way. We're gonna walk there later. And then this is the famous Podium right here. Now I am inside Podium getting some AC. But yeah, the mall is pretty nice, you know, and it's like a multi-level. There's a nice scenery here ahead of me, but the best area is gonna be on the other side. This is what you get. Literally looks like a spaceship over here. Pretty nice and fancy. But let me make it towards the other side. There's another mall here that's called Shangri-La, which is in Ortigas, and it's pretty nice too, but I want to show you this other side. This is the mall. They got the Christmas tree, and then you see the multi-level. Like a beautiful spaceship. And it keeps going over here. Tell you the malls back home in the States got nothing in the mall on the Philippines. Now, I live in New Jersey, which is a state that has the second largest mall in the States, and it's still nothing comparing to the malls here. The malls in the States are very boring, but over here, it's like a vibe. Not only the way how they design the malls, but you go to certain malls and a lot of people come here to chill. You see family, you know, you see a lot of action. And like a good purpose, you know. So that was a little bit of the Podium. I got cooled off a little bit with the heat, but let's continue with our urban exploration of this beautiful neighborhood out here. But yeah, we got a long walk to do. We got to go all the way back there, but I want to show you a little plaza that we got happening over here. This over here is Sao Paulo. This will take me straight towards where the plaza is, and then it connects me to F. Ortigas Jr. Road, but it's kind of like the main road of this central business district out here. So you can see how nice and well paved the sidewalks are. A lot of trees in between over there. But yeah, it's like a super chill district out here. And I don't stay too far from this area, but this area, you know, every time I come, it's actually really cool. So that's why I cover it a few times, because I feel like it deserves a little bit more of a showcase. Now I'm just gonna cross the mini plaza. Nothing crazy, but I want to show you how it is and how it connects you to another street. And this is the little plaza called Ortigas Park. They even have a little 7-Eleven over here in the corner. Just gotta be careful when I cross the street. Those are some of the main streets out there. And I'll show you the vibes out here. And this is the local plaza. And here they have, you know, Hacienda de Mandaluyong, a little map of the metro, you know. Then a few establishments, like a coffee joint right here where people can just chill. But it's actually pretty small. It's not, you know, big like Ayala Triangle in Makati. And this is one of the main streets over here in Ortigas. And pretty nice, you know, it's not busy with traffic, but it got some establishments and high-rise buildings, and the sidewalks are pretty nice. I'll show you. This is the sidewalks, red ribbon, you know, super chill, developed district. They got more buildings over here, and the map is small, but it's actually bigger in person. So it's mostly people that come out here and work. And they also got like a couple of hotels for you to stay if you ever travel. You want to stay in the metro area of Manila. You know, they got a couple of hotels out here, so yeah. I really love the sidewalk, how it is, nice and paved. I think that's one thing I like about a lot of business districts out here in Manila. Comparing to the States, especially in New York, where I've been based for 15 years, is you walk around here, it's pretty clean, you know, they're pretty strict in terms of rules, no litter, you know, no homeless and stuff, versus New York. You go even to 5th Avenue or 57th Street, which is one of the most, if not the most expensive street in the whole world, called Billionaires Row, and they got even homeless out there, you know, a lot of craziness, but here, you know, you really don't see it, because a lot of people like to trash Manila. And of course, there are some areas that don't look fine, but there's also a lot of good areas out here in the Metro Manila, so don't be afraid to venture around here. Then ahead of me is gonna be, wanna say hi, shout out? Nice people, see? Then ahead we got like a little overpassage with a park in the center, so I'm gonna go on top and show you the street of what's going on. There's some nice looking condos over here. Yeah, I'm glad I came here for an update video, because I feel like there's a lot to see here in Ortigas. And this is only like not even half of what I've been covering Also, they got Mega Mall, which is on that side. Some business, the Shangri-La district. Then on the other side, they got Capitol Commons. But I'm gonna go over this part to show you what's going on. This is the plaza that we got over here. And then here to my left, F. Ortigas Jr., which is the main street that I was walking, and you can see how nice and clean the streets are and the buildings. I'm back again on ground level, but I'm gonna make it towards the other side. Not around the Mega Mall, because I already filmed there, but I think I'm gonna make it towards Greenfield, because over there they got a couple of condos over there. And I think it's also like another district right next to Ortigas that's developing pretty fast. This is the mall that I was walking in, the two towers that surround it by Podium. So you can see the modern buildings that we got. Not sure how clear you can see it, but you see how they decorate the trees. I'm not sure if it lights up in the nighttime. There's another one literally by the entrance of Podium. This proves you how serious they take the Christmas spirits out here in the Philippines. More buildings over here. The Shangri-La is somewhere around where those buildings are. So it's like a couple of residential areas connected together. But if I walk straight, you're gonna see some action happening too. Here behind me, you see all the developments that's going on. And then this way that I'm gonna walk, it gets busier because we got a busy boulevard that I already filmed with the Shaw Boulevard, and it goes deeply all the way towards Mandaluyong. But yeah, very busy, a lot of traffic here, motorbikes. A little bit late when I flipped the camera, but there was more traffic coming over here. And you see the buildings, they keep going on. And even got a gas station right there. So yeah, you know, really cool central business district. I just can't get enough of this beautiful wide sidewalks. You know, pretty easy, you know, to walk around. If you're a runner, this is an easy area for you to jog and run. And then tons of condos over here. Pretty modern. Traffic keeps going, so the other side I was walking wasn't busy, but in this area here is busy. And I think it's because they're trying to make a left towards the other side where it's Mega Mall, and then that's also takes you to EDSA Highway, which is one of the busiest highways, if not the busiest highway in the whole Philippines. Then in the nighttime, the skyscrapers, they lit up too. If you go through EDSA, you'll see all the lights, but the only bad thing is that the traffic is just horrendous. I didn't manage to capture, but some of the motorcycles, they were literally shortcutting in the sidewalks, you know. So you just gotta be careful, but the traffic jam literally keeps going ahead of me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk ahead towards Greenfield, do a couple of blocks and merge in towards William Street. Okay, that's where they got some condos going on. Then show you some of the vibes over there. And then see, the traffic just keeps going hardcore. So that's why I'd rather walk or take the MRT to get around. Because even if it's not far, it can take you forever to get from one side of Manila to another one. And not sure if you can see it clear. This is the Westin Hotel. And Shangri-La's over that way, and they got a mall. But I'll probably walk towards that side later. Now I just want to focus on Greenfield District to see what's happening over there. But then, like I said, I really love how wide the sidewalks are. Nice and impeccable. Then I got to cross the other street around to see what's going on. One block ahead should be Shaw Boulevard. Right here, where you see these buildings, this is actually Greenfield District. Another neighborhood I forgot to mention, which I already filmed it, is in my left side, which is called Capitolio. And it's also like a really cool district that they got here in the metro. Look at the motorbikes, how they be passing pretty busy. Then I think this is literally like the borderline between Pasig and Mandaluyong. Like here, welcome to Mandaluyong. No, welcome to Pasig, and then over here it says welcome to Mandaluyong. So that's literally like the borderline right there. I'm in the Greenfield side, which is down here. You see the sign. This is Shaw Boulevard, which I filmed a video over here, and pretty busy. So yeah, this is like another central business district right next to Ortigas, but it literally forms up like a big area. So we're gonna explore around here. Here's like much more chiller than Ortigas, but I think in the future they're gonna keep on developing more buildings. But they also have like a night market. I don't know if they do it like every day or in the weekends. They have like a little plaza where they do a night market. They got a couple of shopping centers and malls around here and restaurants. So we're just gonna venture around to see what can we find here. I passed by EDSA, but it's been a minute since I explored my way around this side. So let's see what can we find out here. Just like Ortigas or many other central business district, wide sidewalks. Then the Shangri-La Mall is in the skinita, the corner. The MRT station is right there. Then you keep going Shaw Boulevard, and it takes you straight towards Mandaluyong. So here you see all the skyscrapers of Ortigas. Pretty cool business district. It would be really dope if they build like a monorail or a little light rail that connects you all to Central Business District. Because even though they look like they're right next to each other, it's a little bit for longer for to walk from one side to another one. So they have like a little mini light rail that connects you to these areas. I figured that would be really cool, and it'll make the neighborhood a little bit more walkable. Ahead of me is Mayflower Street. That's where it's gonna get pretty interesting. And then when you see this yellow building, it's a Shangri-La Plaza, which is like a multi-level story mall. So now I am in Mayflower District. The difference about this one is it's mostly like a long building, but it got different shops. But then ahead of me were the little park is where they do like sometimes weekend markets. They set up like a nice Christmas decoration. Even in the daytime it's lit up. So I'm gonna show you guys once I make it ahead of me over here. So this is the district over here, you see? A lot of office buildings, a couple of condos, beautiful sidewalks. Then the local park is over here. Oh wow, they got some couple of stands. So I'm probably gonna take a little peek to see what the hype is about. There should be a parking lot where they also set up like a couple of markets around. So every time I come here, it seems like they're always setting up something. So maybe in the evening or nighttime, it gets much better in this district over here. Just gonna walk around in squares and show you the little plaza that they got going on. What mostly I see is just young, probably like teens or in their early 20s, and they're probably doing like TikToks and stuff. Then ahead of me, there's more business, but this is what you got going on. I'm not sure if they renovated the plaza. It looks actually really cool. So actually not much, but I'm just showing you, around here, the buildings and everything. Just gonna make it back towards Mayflower. I'm not gonna lie, this area kind of reminds me a bit of Co-op City in the Bronx, New York. Like a planned city, a community style. Before I move over here, I'll film a video over there if you guys wanna check it out. And it's actually like the biggest comparative city in the whole world. It's located in the northern part of the Bronx, New York. It seems like they're training for something over there. A lot of young kids. And then you see how nice and well paved the business district is. They got a couple of restaurants out here. It says Food Truck Festival. So I think they set up like some food trucks over here. And then you can see the condos and then that huge building that says Greenfield District. Then a block ahead of me is where they got the parking and they set up like a food market. I've never been there. There used to be one food market or one food joint that I really wanted to try it out, but they closed for good. Maybe I'll just take a little stroll around here to see what can I find. This is where they got the food truck joint. How do I get in? I think I gotta go to the other side. I'm just taking a little peek from a distance. So yeah, pretty standard. But I think if you come in the weekend or in the afternoon, it gets busy out here. But, pretty nice to look at. Yes, I think if you come later, it's actually better. So I think if I was to walk towards this area straight, it would connect me towards another main street, Bonnie. I think it's Bonnie Street or Bonnie Avenue. I forgot. I'll film a video there walking all the way towards the City Hall area, Mandaluyong, and it goes all the way here with all the condos. And this is still Greenfield. You see beautiful buildings over here. Tall skyscrapers that we got going on. So literally everywhere you go, they got really super tall buildings. And it seems like it's a new building that they pop up. And these are some new massive condos that's being built. Now I'm in William Street. I did a little shortcut for the mall over here, Fame Mall, but nothing crazy. Just, a little mall, just a good way for you to shortcut and connect right here for EDSA. But ahead of me is EDSA, where the traffic jam is pretty heavy, but I'm literally surrounded by a lot of condominiums. And every time I come here, a lot of foreigners, they live around here. Maybe because it's probably a little bit more affordable in the West, easy commute, or maybe some of them, they probably work around here. But yeah. Gonna make a little right and show you the action over here. This is still part of Greenfield. This is EDSA where the MRT passes by. And I'm gonna walk around here. I'll pass this many times to see the crazy traffic jam that happens around here. Over here is Fame Mall and the condos on top. I'm gonna assume that people that live on top there, they get a really good view of the highway and probably other districts of Metro Manila. You got the massive sidewalk that really identifies the Greenfield District. This is kind of one of like the busy entrance to the district, you know, surrounded by the highway right here. Humidity is really kicking in. I gotta go down here because here's where they have the pedestrian area. It would be a challenge for me to cross the street over this side. And there's across the street over there with the pedestrian area, so easy peasy. Look at the MRT passing by. So the stop right here ahead of me is gonna be Shaw Boulevard. That's the stop that I'm gonna get on and head back towards my accommodation. Walking over here over the ceiling to protect myself from the heat. But I think I'm gonna get a little bit of AC in Shangri-La Mall. Not gonna film inside there, but you know. But I think this is gonna be a perfect spot for me to wrap up the video of Ortigas and Greenfield. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.